Hi everyone, my name's Jordan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing what I think is going to be a very fun video. I have a long collection of tweets about the Locked Tomb fan theories and things that people picked up on that I didn't, and predictions for Alecto the Ninth, and just a bunch of people that are much smarter than me. Some of them are deep dives into the text, some of them are more silly, fun tweets, but I'm really excited to go through this. I will have images on the screen of all of these tweets as I read them so you can see the original poster and everything. I'm not taking credit for any of these theories. These are all things I found on Twitter. These people are much smarter than me. Needless to say, this video is going to be chock full of spoilers. Spoilers for Gideon, Harrow, and Nona the Ninth. So if you have not read these yet, please don't watch this video. Come back to it after you've read them. I'm going to be holding nothing back, and neither will these Twitter users. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, from @SpankMeSilly. I'm probably not the first person to figure this out, but the numbers in the John chapters in Nona the Ninth are an alphabet cipher, and together they spell "the tower has reactivated," which in Nona, there was a brief mention of a tower that I don't even remember what character sees it. One of the characters sees a tower, and we get like just the briefest of glimpses of it, and that's really it. So this is wild. But then, hold, the ARC version had a different cipher. So the ARC version, the cipher was "the tower wants John Gaius," and this is from @RingRights. So the tower wants John Gaius, and it has reactivated. Tamsin Muir is something else, because this like complex, this like changing it from the ARC to the regular edition, and also like who's gonna do I mean, obviously these people did the cipher, but like I would have never ever thought of doing that, and it's just like big brain stuff. Like Tamsin Muir is just, she's something else. Next, from @XXRatPunkXX. Imagine an Alecto instead of Harrow and Gideon versus God. It's Harrow and Alecto versus Gideon and God. Gideon not being able to leave John's side, still believing Harrow hates her, so despite her feelings, she falls to John, while Alecto drags Harrow away screaming at Gideon to come back. That would kill me. The ending of Nona was absolutely buck wild, and this whole premise, there's a few tweets I'll go through that just talk about Gideon's heartbreak, but this whole premise of Gideon thinking Harrow wants nothing to do with her is just like absolutely devastating. Saddest girl in the universe. We love her. But she does not know that Harrow also loves her. So next, from Alecto Prince, reminder that Gideon still thinks Harrow doesn't and can never love her, despite the fact that Harrow's love for Gideon is so great that she gave up ultimate power and let herself be vulnerable, something she hates, all to try to preserve Gideon's life. All Harrow wanted was to be a lictor. Then she finds out she has to burn Gideon's soul to do it, and she's having her girl Worsty saw her skull open on the off chance that she can find a way to bring Gideon back, and Gideon still thinks it's because Harrow didn't want to be beholden to her. This is what kills me. Like, Gideon thinks that Harrow blocked her from her mind because she wanted nothing to do with her, when in fact it was just she couldn't bear the burden of having to get rid of Gideon and hoping that she can bring her back at some point. Like, I guess we as readers know that that's not why, because we're in Harrow's head for most of the story, in Harrow at least. But from Gideon's point of view, she doesn't get all of that like emotional turmoil that we see. She just thinks Harrow killed me and then banished my entire existence from her memory. Like, devastating. This one's just a funny joke that I wanted to throw in because I love it. From @BonesForTime, if John is God and Gideon is Jesus, then does that make Kiriona the Holy Spirit? Because she's got the hole in her chest. Oh, it's so good. From @AntisReading, in the bonus content of Gideon the Ninth, Tamsin Muir made a note that the names of Magnus and Abigail and Palamedes and Camilla were named to complement each other because they love each other. Consider Gaia and Nonagesimus. Tamsin Muir knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. From @Navalier. So last night I was thinking about the significance of the central resurrection beast in the Locked Tomb being number 7. So I did a bit of Googling, and Uranus name meeting, which is the 7th planet, Heaven, the sky. The first planet discovered that was not known in ancient times, named for the god of heaven, husband of Gaia, the earth, from Latin Uranus, from Greek Oranos, literally heaven, the sky. In Greek cosmology, the god who personifies the heavens, father of the Titans. Husband of Gaia? Guys, Tamsin goes so deep. So deep. At Miniminish, a friend in the chat suggested since Nona speaks every language, she hears the kids' names and translates them to their meanings. That's why you'll have a kid named Born in the Morning and a kid named Kevin. If that's what Tasmira intended, it would be genius. Wait, I'm not sure how much the kids' names have to do with the planet being partially ruled by blood of Eden, but that's a cool theory. I know Hot Sauce said her name is Hot Sauce because she likes spicy food toppings, but also the name Harissa means hot sauce. And the fact that when they're talking about crown, Nona hears pal and the others also call her crown, Corona means crown. I just thought this was, again, another Tamsin Muir being big brain, being smarter than all of us, like, because Nona can understand all the languages. The fact that she basically her brain is translating all of these people's actual names into just like a very, very literal meaning. Born in the Morning and hot sauce, like so good. From at Al Samil. Hey, wait, we overlooked something important. Spoilers ahead, obviously. Jod failed in taking Alecto in. She was not a mere human soul. Alecto just lived 6 months inside Harrow without any single problem. Harrow can take Alecto's power in. And then somebody replied, I mean, she did start dying and falling apart about 6 months in. And the poster responded, but John couldn't even do it 1 second. So John talked about how he couldn't take in Alecto's soul because Alecto is where this all stems from. We know Harrow was created by killing 200 kids, right? She got her necromantic power and this huge amount of power from the death of all these kids that her parents killed in order to create Harrow. Alecto was created by John when he wiped out Earth. So Alecto is the embodiment of all of the people from Earth as well as the Earth itself. So her being is just a lot bigger. And Harrow has a fraction of that in these 200 children, but more than John has. John has himself. So John is not able to take in all of this power that Alecto has, but Harrow can hold it for a little while. So it's just really, really interesting, the like kind of science magic behind that, in that because Harrow has taken in all of these souls into herself, she is created by all of these children, and Alecto is created by everyone on Earth. They can kind of cohabitate for a brief amount of time because they both are just expansive. So just super fun, interesting tidbit. Again, from Alecto Prince, the found family aspect of Nona hits so much harder because it's ephemeral, I think. Like, everyone knows they won't be able to live like this forever, even Nona, but they build that life anyway because even if something doesn't last forever, love is still worth having. Like, something about being grateful for love, even if it's fleeting. Something about how you can take away love. Something about how you can't take away love. I'm crazy. And then a highlighted passage from the book. Nona was so grateful to have had a whole 6 months of this. It was greedy to expect much longer. This whole story in Nona was just so impactful because of this found family aspect. They're just trying to survive. They aren't even sure who Nona is. Nona's not sure who she is, but they all love each other nonetheless. They all take care of each other, and they know it won't last, but they make it as good while they can without like being devastated over it. And it's just, pulls on my heartstrings. From @Catrasadorus, y'all realize that Gideon lost everything, don't you? She's died like 3 times. She can see that Harrow, the thing she confesses is all she cares about, has been invaded by some frozen weirdo. She thinks Harrow died. She tells Nona to shut her stolen mouth. She's angry, and rightfully so. Gideon has been dragged back to life and shoved in her corpse without permission, and before that she gave her life for Harrow. But Harrow refused to eat her, and Gideon believes that Harrow's refusal to go full lictor was not out of love and grief, but out of a refusal to be bound to her. Gideon feels rejected, and she, mind you, damn her for feeling it, misses Harrow. She tells Harrow to hold on when Nona's soul becomes almost too much for her necromancer's body. Nona says Gideon is lying when she says she doesn't give a shit, and she's only going to the tomb because that's where things are happening. She's going for Harrow. She's just not admitting that. She's being very ninth by keeping her cards close to her chest and not telling people. Besides all that, she spent 6 months with John Gaius. Fucking John Gaius and Ianthe. Everything Gideon ever wanted has turned out to be nothing she ever wanted. She has it all except the one thing she truly wanted, Harrow. She is the saddest girl in the universe. Let her be. I kind of talked about this earlier, but this person really, really, really succinctly put it much better than I did. And just that Gideon doesn't see it the way Harrow does, and it's devastating. From Sebastian. God hasn't been here the whole time. At the end of the night, the locked tomb is me. Like this whole time, just fucking written there, plain and simple. So it's from a Tumblr post that somebody screenshotted. Harrow said, in the event of my death, Gideon, if something ever does get the better of me, I need you to outlast me. I need you to go back to the 9th house and protect the locked tomb. If I die, I need your duty not to die with me. That is such a dick move, said Gideon reproachfully. I know, said Harrow, I know. This nettled her. You don't own me. Oh, Gretel, but I do, said Harrow Hark. You're bound to the locked tomb, and at the end of the night, the locked tomb is me. Palamedes, and then in Nona, Palamedes repeated very patiently, what do you want, Gideon? The corpse prince didn't turn an eyelash. I want to go back. Who cares about my reasons? Ugh. She wants to go back to fulfill her promise to Harrow that she will protect the locked tomb. But also she knows that Harrow is the locked tomb. And because this person in Harrow's body is not Harrow, she's like, well, maybe Harrow's back in the locked tomb. Because that's what Harrow said she is. And it's just like... But also, Harrow has known that she is the locked tomb from the get-go, which is Alecto. And it's just like, it's just absolutely buck wild. And then in that vein, from @ButchMothman, Harrow has always been Alecto, and here's why and how. In all the dream chapters with John, he constantly speaks to Harrow as if she is Earth, as if she is Alecto, saying things like, you always say that, Harrow Hark, in regards to the words, I still love you. Which is what Alecto has always said to him. John writes 3 letters in the sand, E, A, and H. I believe these are supposed to be Earth, Alecto, and Harrow, which are all actually 3 iterations of the same being. The most damning evidence I have for this is when Judith regains consciousness and says, Harrow Hark, and Nona says no, and I never was. So how did Alecto come to be in Harrow? I believe that this was the vow Anastasia and Alecto made, that every descendant of Anastasia would hold Alecto's soul while her body slept in the tomb, so as long as they had necromantic powers, which is why it was so crucial for Harrow's parents to ensure her necromantic ability, and why Harrow Nova is referred to as the unfulfilled vow, because she is not a necromancer and therefore cannot hold Alecto's soul. Other evidence for this includes when Harrow struggles with consciousness at the beginning of Harrow the Ninth, and Ianthe says, your only settings were power vomit and murder, just like Nona's tantrums when Alecto takes the front seat. I'm still rereading Harrow the Ninth for the billionth time, but I'm already seeing multiple hints about Harrow being Alecto, such as the line, you rose from the bed like a ghost from the tomb. I wonder if John knew something about this, and if that's why he's tried to suffocate Harrow at the beginning of Harrow the Ninth, because I firmly believe that it was him. I believe that this also why Harrow always sees the body, why she was drawn to the tomb, and why she has this unfettered devotion for Alecto, because she is Alecto and she always has been. Harrow Hark is still a real person, yes, but with 200 souls and the revenant beast of Earth inside of you your entire life, how real can you be? Again, big brain stuff. Tamsin Muir out here just smarter than all of us. Mind blown. And these people are much smarter than me. This is why I love this series. No other series have I done deep dives like this and like perused the interwebs for other people's smarter reactions, because most books I get enough of a grasp, but I'm like, okay, I get it, and that's good. This book, I was like, I get it, but I need to know more. I need to know what other people are thinking, and these, oh. Oof. So that is just a small portion of the tweets I've seen about this series. I have a bunch more that I have saved that were mostly just like fan art or like comic strips people have made of certain points in these stories. So I didn't share those here. I tried to keep it mostly like fan theories and just people. Some of it's not even theory, some of it's just people pointing out the things that I missed, like the Cipher and things like that. Overall, I just need to reread this series like 800 more times to fully grasp what it's about, and then I probably still won't. And I'm dying for Alecto, and on Goodreads, which Goodreads release dates are like dumb anyway, they are never accurate, but it was set for October of this year, and it just for some reason got moved to January of next year. So no actual release date has been released, the cover hasn't been dropped yet. I'm just anxiously awaiting this book because I think it will be absolutely bizarre. Like, I have no predictions for what's going to happen in Alecto because it could go anywhere. Like, I couldn't have told you what Nona was going to be about. Like, Nona was so different from Harrow. And, like, Harrow at least continued the story. You still didn't get what was going on because Harrow lobotomied herself. I at least kind of understood where she was and stuff a little bit. Nona was completely different. And I don't know where Alecto's going to go. I'm so excited, and this series is one of my favorites for a reason. So with that, thank you guys for watching. If you could please like, comment, and subscribe, Please, please, please let me know down below if you have any other fan theories that you've encountered or that you've thought up, or any other ideas you have about this series that I didn't mention here, because I just assume I don't know it. Because if I do, then somebody else in the comments will see it, and if I don't, I'll learn. So if you have any other fan theories you thought of or found, please share them down below. If you really like my content, please hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post new videos. I also have a Patreon now if you want input on my monthly TBRs, as well as patron-exclusive reading sprints and a few other bonus perks. You can find that down below. Thank you all for your support. As always, it means the world to me, and until next time, thank you guys.